I am the Lord, your healer. You sent your word and you healed my disease. You are the Lord, my healer.
Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Nature's Way program here on Waves 96.3 FM. I am Debbie, your host, and I am delighted to be here with you to share some very vital information with you this evening. So, welcome one, welcome all, and I trust that you have been having a wonderful Sunday. Yes, the Lord has been gracious unto us. He has given us life, He has given us health, He has given us strength, and He has given us information that we can use in every aspect of our lives for every single situation that we may come across. One situation that we're going to be looking at this evening is a very common one, and I will be it's the condition has to do with ladies, but it affects the gentlemen as well, because we hear from time to time when that time comes around. Some of the men don't want to stay around the ladies, or some of the men complain that they don't understand the ladies and all of that. But we're going to be looking at it this evening, and we're going to be having that discussion, and we're going to be examining it. So we're going to be looking at what it is. We're going to be looking at the symptoms. We're going to look at the nutrients as usual that we can use to treat with it. We're going to look at the herbs as well that we can use. And we're going to be looking at some recommendations and some things to consider. So before we go any further, let me just um, say welcome to those persons who are on the radio, and I'll say welcome. I'll preempt to those who will join us soon on YouTube. Remember, you can send in your comments or information or questions on our YouTube channel. That's Nature's Way with Debbie on YouTube. So you can check that out. If you have not yet subscribed, you can just subscribe and make sure you get those notifications when we are on. Okay? So, Dr. God, we have to consult with him. So, at this time, I'm going to invite you to just bow your heads with me briefly. Our Father, which art in heaven, thank you for your grace and your mercy. Thank you, Lord, for all that you do on our behalf. We come now placing everything in your hands. And I pray that this information will be useful to your listeners, and that, dear Lord, your name will be glorified, because everything we do, dear Lord, whether we eat or drink, and everything that we do should glorify your name. Please, Lord, let your will be done. In Jesus' name, I pray and say thanks. Okay, so there's stories, might call them, or instances that sometimes when you listen to the gentlemen, you hear them say, boy, I don't understand my wife. And there are times when they say during that time of the month, they don't understand their wives, and they don't want to be around their wives because they're miserable and they're moody and all of that. We're going to be looking at premenstrual syndrome. That's what we're going to be looking at this evening. And I was reading where one lady, her name is Carrie, she said her husband always, like, if she feels strongly about something, they're having a discussion or an issue, and she feels strongly about an issue and she expresses herself, he'll just crop it down to, oh well, I will not argue with you because it's that time of the month and all of that. I don't think he should be doing that. It is a bit irritating, and it can escalate. So sometimes it causes a little things, a little problem in our relationships, because the men at that time don't understand you. And even when it is not that time, they allude to that. But the information is here. So I hope that at the end, our gentlemen will understand ladies a little more and realize that is not something that it's not purpose, but it's something that happens to us as ladies. So post menstrual syndrome, we're going to be looking at what it is. So, or I said post, it's premenstrual syndrome. So PMS, as it is commonly called. So premenstrual syndrome, or PMS, is a disorder that affects many women during the 1 to 2 weeks before menstruation begins. Symptoms can include any or all of the following: abdominal, bloating, acne, anxiety, backache, breast swelling and tenderness, cramps, depression, food cravings, fainting spells, fatigue, headaches, insomnia, joint pain, nervousness, skin eruptions, water retention, and personality changes, or those mood, and what we call, some of them are termed as drastic mood swings, outbursts of anger. Some people, even some women, I should say, even get violent, and sometimes even thoughts of suicide. And this is a serious situation. It affects women a lot in different places, and sometimes it affects them even more severe than others, because what they do is, sometimes there are underlying issues and sometimes there are not. Sometimes it's because of what is happening, because your hormones are all over the place, and this sometimes lead to thoughts of suicide. And these are issues that are real, and you have some women that really have to grapple with this on a monthly basis, for most of their lives. So the symptoms are numerous and various, that diagnosing and treating this condition is often difficult. And there are other things that we can do aside from medical things, and we'll look at some of those. All right. So there are no hard statistics, but it is estimated that as many as 80% of all women experience some premenstrual symptoms at one time or another. Approximately 5% of women have symptoms so severe as to be incapacitating, and 30 to 40% report symptoms severe enough to interfere with their day to day lives. And there are some women who have serious issues. So we have to make sure that we treat with these issues. All right. For many years, PMS was dismissed as a psychological problem. So they say, this woman, as I was reading about her story, she said her husband says she's crazy. She become a crazy woman at times, but it's because he does not understand what is happening with her. So it is it is said that it is a psychological problem, and that's all it is, but that's not all it is, because we now know that this is a physically based problem, although it is still far from clear what causes all the symptoms. But there are some ideas that I want to share with you. So, it is possible, of course, that there is more than one cause of PMS, and that there may be different causes of symptoms in different people. Now, there are causes and symptoms in different people, and these symptoms affect persons differently. So, and as I said, there are times when you are not able to deal with how you're feeling or what you're feeling. It is important that you have information. You read about these things so that mentally you can be prepared. And then you say, oh, this is what is happening to me. So it helps you to keep calm in a sense, and it helps you better to deal with the situation. So it is important that the information is disseminated, and that is what we do here at Nature's Way. We disseminate information so that you can use them to have a healthier life, because this is the only program on this station that takes you on the path to a healthy, wholesome living. It is now 5:15 p.m. You are tuned into the Nature's Way program on Waves 96.3 FM. If you're just joining us, welcome. This time signal is brought to you by the Blessed Hope Health Food Store, located at shop number 1, Vicville Plaza, right there in Rice Yard, Aracabessa. And some of the nutrients that we often share with you on this program, you can get them there. You can get your health consultations and so on, and you can get information as well. And if you hear something on Nature's Way, you can follow it up. You can go there and you can get additional information, because that's how we do. Okay, so welcome, and I trust that you may stay with us so that we can have a wonderful time this evening. So, as I was saying, that PMS have different causes and symptoms in different people. So, one of the reasons for PMS may be hormonal imbalance, excessive levels of estrogen, and inadequate levels of progesterone, as well as sensitivity to fluctuating hormones. And as I said at the top of the show, your hormones are all over the place. So, they fluctuate. Diet also may be an important contributing factor for some women. Unstable blood sugar levels are an important factor as well. So, PMS has also been linked to food allergies, changing in carbohydrate metabolism, and also hypoglycemia and malabsorption, because there are some deficiencies I'm going to be sharing within the nutrients, that you may not have enough of a particular nutrient or vitamin, and this can also be a contributor, because if you're suffering from malabsorption, it means that you're not absorbing the required amount of nutrients or vitamins that your body need to function at its optimal. So it is important. Other suspected causes of PMS symptoms include erratic levels of beta endorphin. And beta endorphin is a narcotic like substance produced by the body. Vitamin, it can also be vitamin and or mineral deficiencies, as I said, especially calcium deficiency, and an inability to metabolize fatty acids. Now, all of these may play a part in PMS. And I'm going to be sharing some nutrients with you, or supplements that you can take on a daily basis to help to treat with this condition. Because who knows, you may just have a deficiency and you're not even sure. There are some women that it doesn't bother any at all. And there are some women that it is so chronic that you don't want, even as women, we don't want to be around those women during that time, whether the 2 weeks before or during. And it is a serious matter, and it is something that we cannot ignore. And ladies, it is good if you, as I said, know about these things, understand your body, and how you feel and why you feel this way, because understanding the reason can help you to treat with it better. All right, so we're going to be looking at some nutrients, and I'm going to be sharing just a few of the suggested daily dosages with you. There are some of them that you can get at some of the health food stores or health stores, and the labels, you have to read the labels in order to know how to use these. So it's as directed on the label, and it is important that you read the labels, because even though these are natural substances, you can have a negative reaction, and we don't want that, because we want to treat with the issue that is at hand. We don't want to have to treat with something else or to compound the problem that we have. So acidophilus is one of the very important nutrient or supplement that we can take, and this one you will have to use as directed on the label. And remember, consult with your physician before you use these products, because you may just have a negative reaction. So what acidophilus does, it breaks down metabolites of estrogen, because you don't want to be producing too much estrogen, because we know that from having too much estrogen in your body, you can develop these cysts and these fibroids and other things that we don't want to develop. Black currant seed oil is another one, or flaxseed oil, or primrose oil. Now, for the black currant seed oil, this is as directed on your label, and it's normally on the label that you are to take this 3 times daily. Also, the flaxseed oil, it is as directed on the label as well, and usually it states 3 times daily. The primrose oil, this is 1,000 milligrams 3 times daily. And this is it. These oils, what they do, they help to supply gamma linolenic acid, or GLA, an essential fatty acid that is important in relieving symptoms and aiding proper glandular function. So these oils are important too. Also, calcium is very important. The recommended dosage is 1,500 milligrams daily, and also magnesium and vitamin D3. Now, for the calcium, it's 1,500 milligrams daily, and magnesium 1,000 milligrams daily, and vitamin D3, it's as directed on the label. These are very important because studies have shown that calcium supplements can reduce many symptoms of PMS by as much as 30%, and that is significant. Um, you can use a citrate or chelate form. All right. Deficiency in any of these may be associated with PMS. So make sure we use them. Now, these can be taken or should be taken with magnesium, because um, it helps with the uptake of calcium as well. So it is good to use it with. Remember, we always tell you that some of these supplements or nutrients, they can be used together, because one helps the other with to absorb or to have a good take up of the other one. So it is important. when we give the information that you use them together, it is important that they are used together because they work well or better that way. So gamma amino butyric acid, or GABA, GABA for short, 750 milligrams daily is recommended. And what this does, it assists in controlling anxiety and restlessness by increasing levels of serotonin in the brain. And a lot of times, when women are going through PMS, they are anxious, they are restless, they are fatigued, and so on. So, this can help to calm you down and make sure that you are okay. Melatonin is another supplement that is good, and it is as directed on the label. It is important for regulating hormone levels, helps combat insomnia as well, because there are times when some women are going through PMS and they are not able to sleep. So this can also assist in that situation. Natural progesterone cream is a cream, and you can use this cream as directed on the label. A progesterone supplement that has proved helpful for some women. And remember, some things work better for some, so it is what works for you. All right. So the information is out there, and you choose the one that works best for you. So you're going to do your process of elimination as you go along. All right. Also, vitamin B complex is very, very good as well. 100 milligram of each major B vitamin 3 times daily. And remember, amounts of individual vitamins in a complex, they will vary. So it depends on the brand and all of that as well. Plus, extra pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5 and vitamin B6, are very important. And you use these together. Now, B vitamins work best when they are taken together. And the vitamin B5 reduces stress and is needed by the adrenaline gland. Vitamin B6, it is recommended that you take 50 milligrams 3 times daily. Also, the vitamin B5, it is recommended that you take 100 to 200 milligrams on a daily basis. Now, what the vitamin B5 does, it reduces stress and is needed by the adrenal gland. The vitamin B6, it reduces water retention and increases oxygen flow to the female organs. Also, aids in restoring estrogen levels to normal. It reduces stress, prevents anemia, and is needed for all bodily functions. And you can use a lucigen or sublingual form. All right. So you use those in that form, and you can use these and to help to treat with the condition. All right. So vitamin E is also a good one. And before I go to vitamin E, let me go back to the vitamin B, the B vitamins. So it's B complex plus vitamin B5, vitamin B6, and also vitamin B12. Vitamin B12, it is recommended that you take 1,000 to 2,000 mcg on a daily basis, and it reduces stress, prevents anemia, and is needed for all bodily functions as well. Now, for the vitamin E, you can start with 400 IU on a daily basis, and you can increase it slowly, but do not exceed 800 IU on a daily basis, because if you exceed this, you may have a negative reaction. So, good for sore breasts, because during PMS, women tend to have tender, their breasts become tender and sore some at times to the touch. So, the vitamin E is good for it. So, it is good for sore breasts and other PMS symptoms as well. Improves oxygen utilization and limits free radical damage. Also helps to relieve nervous tension, irritability, depression, and also depression. And the recommended form is D alpha tocopherol, and you can get that at the health store that carries these products, and make sure you get them in the prescribed form, because it's easier at times to digest, and it will work faster depending on the form, and it will help you to feel better on a quicker. So another um, vitamin or supplement that is helpful is choline and inos- inositol or lecithin. Now, 1,000 milligram each daily is recommended. And what this does, it's aid in nerve impulse transmission and help prevent estrogen related cancers. So that is also helpful. Another thing that is helpful is kelp. Kelp is also helpful because it is a good source of needed minerals, and it helps to protect thyroid function. All right. The recommended dosage on daily dosage is 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams. It is now 5:30 p.m. You are tuned in to the Nature's Way program. If you are just joining us, welcome. And um, I hope that you have been having a good evening. All right. So just to acknowledge those on YouTube, good evening, and welcome to you all. All right. Yes, please like and subscribe. All right. So fine. And I'm going to be looking at my producer is preempting me. I am looking at, I'm going to be looking at one of those herbs. I'm going to be looking at one of those herbs, sir. So thank you for reminding me. I'm going to be looking at that we call in our colloquial term porcelain or purslane. That's we're going to be looking at that. So thank you for reminding me. Yes. So, okay, just to acknowledge, yes, of course, it will be good. Thank you for that. Also, moringa as well. Thank you. All right. So back to the nutrients. Just to give you a quick synopsis of those that I mentioned earlier. Some of them are blackcurrant seed oil, flaxseed oil, primrose oil, calcium and magnesium, and vitamin D3. And this is good taken together. Melatonin is another one, or B vitamins, vitamin B5, B complex, B6, vitamin B12, and vitamin E. These are also good as well. So remember, these are very important, and some of the helpful ones that we mentioned. The last one I mentioned was kelp. And kelp is very, very good as well. So you can make sure you include that one. Also, our vitamin A plus carotenoids complex with natural beta carotene. That is also very good. The recommended dosage daily for vitamin A is 10,000 IU. Also for carotenoid complex with natural beta carotene, 15,000 IU on a daily basis. These numbers sound very high, but um, in fact, the IU is a small amount. So it is good that your diet will play a very important part along with your supplements. So it is good that you consume foods that are high in in these nutrients. All right, good. Also, vitamin C with bioflavonoids is also good. And what vitamin C does, it aid in relief of discomfort and breast swelling, also boosts your immune system. The vitamin A plus carotenoid complex with natural beta carotene, if you have a deficiency of this, it is linked with PMS. So it is good to make sure that you include these in your diet. Antioxidants and precursors of vitamin A as well. We introduce these in our diet. Zinc is also a very important one to include in our diet. And make sure that you have a daily intake of 50 milligrams. Do not exceed a total of 1 milligrams daily for all the supplements that are recommended here. All right, because with zinc, because if you do, you are going to have a negative reaction. Also, you can take zinc with copper, and for copper it's 3 milligrams daily. Now, these zinc and copper are needed for proper immune function, and these are um diuretics, because diuretics deplete zinc, so you need to put back the zinc. All right. So make sure that you include these nutrients in your in your diet, because these are deficiencies in all of these that I have mentioned are linked to PMS. And sometimes we have it, persons, some women have it so badly, and when you check it out, you realize that a very, very high deficiency in these nutrients are the cause, or is the cause of this chronic PMS. As I said, some persons are to the point of even having thoughts of suicide. Some people get angry easily, they become violent, and we don't want that. So remember, you have to take your um, nutrients, and you have to take them on a daily basis to eliminate the fainting spells and all of that. Joint pain, even some persons do have. So remember now. So we are going to be looking at some of the herbs now that can help to treat with this condition. If you are just joining us, welcome. Good evening, Dr. L. Welcome. Um, is this is a question, is there an overall impact of diet, plant-based versus meat, yes, on PMS? Also, how about physical exercise? Yes, Dr. L, you're preempting me. Yes, of course. If you are on a plant-based diet, all these nutrients that I have mentioned you will get. And if you're not getting enough, it means that you need to increase your intake and also add your nutrients or your supplements to that. When you are on a plant-based diet, you are better able to treat with it. I'm going to share later on some of the foods that are high in some nutrients and vitamins that are good to intake, to be in your diet, so that this will eliminate these symptoms of PMS. And also physical exercise is also. So I'll be giving some recommendations later on. So we will cover those that information. So some of the herbs that we are going to be looking at are angelica root, cramp bark, kava kava, and red raspberry. These have antispasmodic properties and may alleviate cramps, because you know that we get cramps and all of that as well. So these things will eliminate the cramps. So that's angelica root, cramp bark, kava kava, and red raspberry. All right. Black cohosh, blessed thistle, dung kai, false unicorn root, fennel seed, sarsaparilla root, and squaw vine are hormone balancing herbs effective in the treatment of PMS. Some of these herbs may not be in your neck of the woods, but those that are mentioned that are, you can use those. Don't worry if you don't have um, Donkai, because it may not be in your neck of the woods. That is fine. If you don't have a black cohosh, that is fine as well. But remember that we always give you others or other substitutes that you can use. Now, there's a word of caution, as we have always said when we are using certain herbs. If you are pregnant or if you have any type of chronic disease, do not use black cohosh. All right, this will compound the problem and it will cause further complications. And this is not what we want to do. Good. You are welcome, Dr. L. So, black haw and rosemary are good for cramps, and these help to calm the nerve system. So you can use these two together, infusion, and you can just sit and sip and make sure you have enough during the first 2 weeks or during your menstrual cycle. These help to calm you down and these will help with your cramps as well. Corn silk or an herbal combination, you can use of corn silk, that's SP6 corn silk blend with solar ray aids in releasing excess water from the tissues and relieves many premenstrual symptoms. Dandelion and hawthorn also acts as natural diuretics. So these will help you not to retain water. So feverfew is also a good herb, and this is good for migraines because a lot of women get headaches, some serious migraine headaches. So during that time, so you can take feverfew for that. Milk thistle is also a good one. Milk thistle cleanses the liver and helps improve liver function, thus enhancing the liver's ability to metabolize estrogen. Now, for best results, this herb should be taken on a daily basis for a period of 3 months, and then you're on your way. All right. Pardiaco. Pardiaco is another good herb to use, and Pardiaco tea is good for protecting against yeast infections. So you can use this because um, during those times you are susceptible to a lot of diseases and so on. So you want to make sure that you protect yourselves. Peppermint, strawberry leaf, and valerian root. These help to stabilize mood swings and tone the nervous systems. And the men always talk about the mood swings. So, men, if you are listening, you need to give your wife peppermint, strawberry leaf, and valerian root. These will stabilize mood swings and they tone the nervous system. And a lot of time women get irritable and, moody because, as I said, they are not understanding what is happening, and they are nervous about how they are feeling as well. So this also helps or contributes to the problem. And yes, many of these herbs like blessed thistle, milk thistle, dandelion, sarsaparilla grows widely in Jamaica. Yes, they do. Thank you very much for that, producer. Yes, they do. So you can use these herbs to help to treat with the condition. All right. Wild yam extract contains natural progesterone and has proved effective in alleviating many symptoms of PMS, including cramps and headaches and mood swings, depression, irritability, and insomnia. These sound familiar? I think they do. All right, so I'm going to be making some recommendations now or sharing some with you. So, and Dr. L, we are going to be looking at the diet too, because that is very, very important. So, eat plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grain, cereals and breads, beans, peas, lentils, nuts, and seeds. All right. So, have high protein snacks in between. You can have that, not those sweet snacks or sugary snacks. So, include in your diet foods that are high in complex carbohydrates and rich in fiber. These can help the body to get rid of excess estrogen if high estrogen levels is the problem. And remember, we need to consult with our physician so we can know exactly what is happening. So some of these food include beans, oatmeal, quinoa, barley, sweet potatoes, other potato, white potato as well, and whole wheat bread, and many, many other plant-based foods that you can make sure they are plant-based foods. Now, drink at least 1 quart of distilled water daily, starting a week before the menstrual period and ending 1 week afterwards. It's good to make sure you have a lot of water. Drink a lot of water during that time, before and after, all the time, every day, because water is good for you. It is now 5:45 p.m. You are tuned into the Nature's Way program. We are discussing PMS, and we're looking now at some recommendations. Do not consume salt, red meats, meat in general, processed foods, or junk or fast foods. At the very least, omit these from the diet. Omit them. All right? Eliminating sodium, principally salt, and foods that contain it is especially important for preventing bloating and water retention. Make sure you do not eat any dairy products. It is good for you to eliminate dairy products from your diet. Dairy products block the absorption of magnesium and increase its urinary excretion. So, refined sugars also increase magnesium excretion. So, if you are excreting magnesium all the time, it means that you're going to be suffering from malabsorption later on, because you're going to be develop a deficiency for this very, very important nutrient in your body. Make sure you avoid caffeine, because caffeine is linked to breast tenderness and is a central nervous system stimulant that can make you anxious and jittery. It also acts as a diuretic and can deplete many important nutrients. Do not consume alcohol or sugar in any form, especially especially during the week before symptoms are expected. Now, these foods cause valuable electrolytes, particularly magnesium, to be lost through the urine. And we don't want these foods on a regular basis either, because these foods make our body lose out on the very important nutrients that our body needs to function at its optimal. All right. Fast on fresh juices and spirulina for several days before the anticipated onset of menstruation to help minimize symptoms. And thereafter, make sure you these become a part of your diet. Get regular exercise. Walking, even if only you do it for 1/2 to a mile per day, can be very helpful. Exercise increases the oxygen level in the blood, which helps in nutrient absorption and efficient elimination of toxins from the body. It also helps to keep hormone levels more stable. And thank you very much, excuse me, for sharing. Yes, it is very important. It is very important. Now, make sure you get regular exercise. And I'm going to be just reiterating this because this is very important. For most of the issues that we're having, the health issues, it's because of lack of exercise. Exercise helps circulation. Exercise is good for your digestive system. It is good for your nervous system. It is good for your endocrine system. Exercise is good for your body all over. It's good for your muscles. It's good for your tissues. It's good to help your body with digestion. It is walking even after a meal is very good. Just walk to get your body um, functioning at its optimal and to help to get those absorption of those nutrients that your body need. Because if you sit and you don't exercise, you are going to end up with not just immobility, not just with pain, but you are going to end up losing out on eliminating those toxins from your body. And that is very important. Exercise, listeners, viewers, is very important. It is one of the 8 laws of health, and we should be practicing. A lot of us don't walk. Sometimes we take a taxi everywhere we go. If we drive everywhere. Sometimes we need to park the car and just walk. Take a walk. You can drive to somewhere, park, and walk a mile or half a mile or so, and then go back to your car. But it is good to get that adrenaline going. It is good to get your muscles moving, and it is good to help to your body to eliminate those toxins that are not needed because they are not healthy. All right, and some things to consider. Now, one of the important things that we need to do is to remember that we need to consult our physician to rule out certain things. All right. So you need to make sure that you don't have any underlying medical condition that may cause the symptoms. And some symptoms are abdominal thyroid function, and some of these things that you want to rule out are endometriosis, or if you have a genuine psychological problem, such as clinical depression. So make sure you don't, food allergy is a contributor. So make sure you do a food allergy test to rule out to rule that out. Also, you can do a hair analysis to rule out heavy metal intoxication. And these are things that contribute to PMS, as simple as you may take it. All right. So, um, let me go to the board now and see what all my viewers are saying to me. It seems that if women would shift to a whole food plant based diet and exercise more regularly, there would be a significant reduction in PMS symptoms. And that is what exactly what I am saying, Dr. L. That is exactly what I'm saying. Because we can't hide from the fact that diet plays a very important part in our health. Diet, if we have a good diet, balanced diet, we are healthier for it. If not, we get sicker. We get diseases. And it is no beating about around the bush. A plant-based diet is better for you, and it helps to treat with all these diseases that we are having, our health conditions. Who would have thought that PMS or your diet has something to do with PMS? But it is a fact. So we encourage here on Nature's Way to change to a plant based diet. And I assure you, you will see the difference in your health, and you will see some of the things, the conditions that you have that are bothering you, that you grapple with year to year, day to day, that these will be eliminated because you have changed to a plant-based diet. Initially, your body is going to be shocked. But remember, as I told you when we are doing the when you're going on a fast, that you have to prepare both physically and mentally. And you have to start by simply eliminating some things and putting in some things. So if you eat 3 meals a day, it is recommended that you um, substitute one of the meals with some green juice or some smoothie, green smoothie or so, or just fruits and vegetables. All right. And you are now gradually telling your body that, listen, we are going to be doing something different. We are going to be making some changes. So get used to this. These are what I'm introducing to you. And you do that on a regular basis, and then you start the process of elimination until you have completed that process. And I assure you that you will be healthier, much healthier for it. Now, there are some foods that you can use, like beets and broccoli. I don't know what is happening with my throat. Beets and broccoli and a lot of water, as I said. Pumpkin seeds, peanuts, bananas, and a variety of fruits and vegetables. All right, so these are some of the things that you need to put in your diet, to include in your diet, so that you can treat with the situation. Now, some of the fruits and grains and beans and make sure you have starchy veggies for the carbohydrates. All right, and make sure you include these things in your diet and those nutrients that I have mentioned. Now, one of the herbs that is very important is purslane. Some people call it parsley. It's the same thing, and it's grown widely here in Jamaica. I just want to share some information on parsley with you, or purslane. Now, it is a succulent running herb that grows freely to the height of about 28 to 30 centimeters, which is about 11 to 12 inches. It is easily identified by its sprawling stems that vary in shades of pink, thick leaves of vivid green, and clusters of yellow flowers that bloom late in the summer. Now, Purslane, or parsley as it is commonly called, is a rich source of nutrients. It's grossly underutilized. So this humble succulent is loaded with much a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, purslane is a flavorsome pot herb and succulent part of raw salads, and you can use it in your salads. Use the leaves in your salads as well. It is good for, it contains omega-3 fatty acids, and it is it they you can use the leaves. Provide about 350 milligrams of um, alanolic acid, omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids are known to reduce the risk of stroke, coronary heart disease, and help prevent the development of attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, and autism, and so on. So it is a very good herb to use. Now, purslane has a succulent stem and leaves loaded with vitamins and minerals, which will fortify our bodies against many diseases. Likewise, studying the Word of God, we receive nourishment to withstand the attacks of the evil one. David said in Psalm 119 and verse 11, "Thy word have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee." Let us study God's words. Let us surrender our all to Him. Let us surrender our appetites to Him. And if we are willing to make that change in our lives, He is willing and able to help us to do so. Be obedient to the word of God. Genesis 1:29 tells us that the herbs are for the healing of the nation. A plant based diet is better for us. So let us switch, make that turn in our lives. He has said that, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth." Now remember, this information that you get here on this station is good for you, and make sure you share it with others. Let us pray. Our Father which art in heaven, thank you for your grace and your mercies towards us. Thank you for all you do on our behalf. I pray that you will be with your listeners and viewers and help all of us, Lord, to be obedient to you. Let us remember that whether we eat or drink or whatsoever we do, we ought to do these things to glorify your name. Thank you for hearing our prayers. Thank you for answering. And thank you for being with us now, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen. It's goodbye from Nature's Way. Until next Sunday, please have a good, safe, and productive week.
I am the God that healeth thee. I am the Lord, your healer. And I sent my word, and I healed